Welcome to Space Nexus. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon for more breaking updates. The global balance of power is shifting, and BRICS is at the center of this transformation. Once a loose economic grouping, BRICS has become a 10-nation alliance challenging Western dominance. The most surprising twist, Turkey, a NATO member and EU candidate, is now openly considering joining BRICS. This signals a major realignment, as Ankara grows frustrated with stalled EU talks and seeks new partners. We'll explore how BRICS's expansion and Turkey's interest could reshape global alliances, trade, and security. The world is watching as old certainties give way to a new multipolar reality. The story of BRICS begins in 2001 when the term was first coined by an economist at Goldman Sachs. At the time, Brazil, Russia, India, and China were identified as the world's most promising emerging economies, nations with rapidly growing influence and potential to reshape the global economic landscape. The acronym BRIC was born, capturing the imagination of investors and policymakers alike, as these countries were seen as the future engines of global growth, challenging the dominance of established Western economies. What started as a financial label soon transformed into a powerful political project. In 2009, the leaders of these four nations met for the first official BRICS summit, signaling their intent to work together and amplify their collective voice in global institutions, many of which had long been dominated by the United States and Europe. Their goal was to push for reforms in international governance, making the system more representative and fair for developing countries. The following year, South Africa was invited to join, turning BRICS into BRICS. This expansion was significant. It brought the African continent into the fold, extending the group's reach and influence across the global south. With South Africa's inclusion, BRICS became a truly global coalition, representing diverse cultures, economies, and perspectives. At its core, BRICS was founded to boost trade and investment among its members, creating new opportunities for economic cooperation and development. The group sought to leverage their combined strengths, vast populations, abundant resources, and growing markets to drive mutual prosperity and reduce their vulnerability to external shocks. A key part of this mission was to reduce their reliance on the US dollar in international trade and finance. By promoting the use of their own currencies, BRICS countries aim to protect themselves from currency fluctuations and geopolitical risks, while also challenging the dollar's dominance in the global financial system. To further this vision, BRICS established new institutions like the New Development Bank, designed to fund infrastructure and sustainable development projects without the conditions often imposed by the IMF and World Bank. This gave member countries more autonomy and flexibility in pursuing their own development paths. The contingent reserve arrangement was also created, providing a financial safety net for members facing balance of payments crises, and strengthening their collective resilience against global economic instability. Politically, BRICS champions the idea of a multipolar world, one where power is shared among many nations, rather than dictated by a handful of Western capitals. This vision seeks to create a more balanced and inclusive international order, where the voices of developing countries are heard and respected. For many nations, joining BRICS represents an opportunity to participate in shaping a new, more equitable global system, one that values diversity, cooperation, and shared progress over competition and exclusion. The expansion of BRICS marks a pivotal moment in global geopolitics, with Egypt, Ethiopia, Iran, the United Arab Emirates, and Indonesia joining the original 5 members. The group has transformed from a regional alliance into a truly global coalition. This move signals a shift in the balance of power, as these new members bring unique strengths, resources, and strategic locations to the table. Their inclusion reflects a growing desire among emerging economies to have a greater voice in shaping the world order. Now, with 10 diverse nations, BRICS stands as a formidable economic and political powerhouse, representing a wide spectrum of cultures, economies, and interests. Collectively, the expanded bloc accounts for an astonishing 45% of the world's population, nearly half of humanity. In terms of economic might, BRICS now commands over a third of global GDP when measured by purchasing power parity, rivaling the influence of established Western blocs like the G7 and the European Union. The group's energy influence is also significant. BRICS members collectively control about 30% of global oil production, and if Saudi Arabia were to join in the future, that share would rise even further, giving the bloc unprecedented leverage over global energy markets and prices. Geographically, BRICS now stretches across 4 continents, Asia, Africa, South America, and the Middle East. This vast reach enables the creation of new trade corridors, supply chains, and investment flows, connecting emerging markets in ways never seen before. The appeal of BRICS is growing rapidly. More than 40 countries have expressed interest in joining, attracted by the bloc's push for de-dollarization, economic self-reliance, and a more multipolar world order. This surge in applicants highlights the shifting priorities of nations seeking alternatives to traditional Western-led institutions. At the October 2024 summit in Kazan, BRICS took another bold step by formalizing a new partner country category, opening the door for even broader cooperation and signaling that the group's expansion is far from over. BRICS isn't just asking for a seat at the global table, it's actively building a new one, inviting others to join in shaping the future of international relations and economic cooperation. As the bloc's ambitions grow, BRICS is poised to reshape the global economic and political landscape, challenging old paradigms and forging a new path for the 21st century. Turkey's quest for EU membership has spanned decades, marked by hope and repeated disappointment. Despite joining NATO in 1952 and applying to the EU in 1987, Turkey's accession talks have stalled over political and cultural concerns. Issues like human rights, Cyprus, and disputes with Greece have kept the door closed. Turkish leaders accuse the EU of double standards and broken promises, fueling public resentment and EU fatigue. This frustration has pushed Ankara to seek new alliances where it feels respected as an equal. The turn toward BRICS is a pragmatic response to a stalled European dream. In February 2025, Turkish Foreign Minister Hakan Fidan made a landmark announcement that sent ripples through international circles. If the European Union continues to keep its doors closed, Turkey is now seriously considering joining BRICS. This statement marked a pivotal shift in Turkey's foreign policy, signaling a willingness to look beyond its traditional Western alliances and explore new global partnerships. This wasn't just diplomatic posturing or empty rhetoric. Turkey has begun actively lobbying for BRICS membership. Turkish officials are engaging in high-level talks, emphasizing the urgent need for economic diversification and greater national sovereignty. For Ankara, joining BRICS is about more than symbolism. It's a calculated move to secure new economic opportunities and reduce dependence on Western institutions that have sometimes imposed restrictive conditions. The appeal of BRICS membership is clear. Access to the BRICS new development bank could unlock billions in development funding, while the ability to trade in local currencies offers a way to bypass the volatility and political strings often attached to the US dollar and euro. For Turkey, this means more financial autonomy and the chance to strengthen its economy on its own terms. For the BRICS bloc, admitting a NATO member like Turkey would be a geopolitical game-changer. It would demonstrate BRICS' growing influence and its ability to attract countries from diverse backgrounds, even those traditionally aligned with the West. Such a move would send a powerful message about the shifting balance of global power. The timing of Turkey's pivot is crucial. As global economic uncertainty intensifies and Western policies become increasingly unpredictable, Ankara is seeking insurance against future shocks. The Turkish economy has faced significant challenges in recent years, and aligning with BRICS could provide a much-needed buffer and new avenues for growth. Importantly, Turkey's move is not an ideological break from the West, but a pragmatic, strategic decision. By expanding its options, Turkey is positioning itself as a flexible player on the world stage, able to engage with both Western and non-Western powers to maximize its national interests. Turkey's unique geographic and cultural position, bridging Europe, Asia, and the Muslim world, makes it an especially attractive candidate for BRICS. Its ability to connect different regions and civilizations could add significant value to the bloc, enhancing its global reach and diversity. The message from Ankara is unmistakable. Turkey is embracing a multi-aligned foreign policy, ready to navigate a new era of shifting alliances and global realignment. As the world order evolves, Turkey is determined to shape its own destiny. If Turkey joins BRICS, it would shake the foundations of NATO and the Western alliance. NATO would face tough questions about trust, intelligence sharing, and Turkey's loyalty, especially with Russia and Iran at the BRICS table. Ankara could be sidelined within NATO, while deepening economic ties with BRICS and accelerating de-dollarization. The EU-Turkey customs union could be strained, and European businesses might lose ground in Turkey's market. Domestically, the move could widen divides between Turkey's pro-Western and conservative factions. Abandoning the EU dream for BRICS could embolden nationalist anti-Western sentiment. This isn't just foreign policy, it's a statement about Turkey's identity and future. The ripple effects would be felt across Europe and beyond. Experts agree. BRICS's rise is accelerating the shift to a multipolar world. The old unipolar order is over. Now, competing blocs are shaping global rules. BRICS gives emerging economies a platform to demand a bigger say, but internal divisions remain. Some members push for an anti-Western stance. Others want reform, not confrontation. China's dominance is a concern, but Brazil's 2025 presidency is steering the group toward development and climate issues. Turkey's potential membership would be a geopolitical earthquake, forcing the West to rethink its alliances. Analysts urge the EU to engage pragmatically with BRICS, cooperating where interests align. The era of dictating terms is over. Negotiation and adaptation are the new norm. BRICS's growth, and Turkey's possible membership, forces the EU and NATO to confront hard truths. The EU's failure to integrate Turkey is now a strategic liability, raising doubts about its influence and enlargement policy. Europe must shift from a values-based to a pragmatic, interest-driven approach, finding common ground with new power centers. For NATO, Turkey's alignment with BRICS would test the alliance's unity and purpose like never before. The prospect of a member state joining a bloc with Russia could fracture NATO's solidarity. Both the EU and NATO must adapt, diversify partnerships, and prove their relevance in a changing world. The rise of BRICS is a wake-up call. Western dominance can no longer be assumed. Adaptation is essential to avoid a steady erosion of influence. BRICS's transformation into a 10-nation force is reshaping the world order. With 45% of the world's population and growing economic clout, BRICS is no longer a fringe movement. Turkey's bid to join signals a crack in the Western alliance and a new era of global competition. If Turkey joins, NATO and the EU will face unprecedented challenges to their cohesion and strategy. BRICS's push for de-dollarization and alternative financial systems could change global trade for decades. The rise of BRICS brings both risks and opportunities, giving billions a greater voice in world affairs. The unipolar moment is over. A new chapter is being written, and BRICS is holding the pen.